Alright, you good?
Yep.
You good? All action, speech, and thought is intrinsically valid and exclusionary. The world is in full disorder. There is no opting out of feeling this balance. You must make decisions in your needs. Must embrace the sensibility. Act under 6 metaphysics. The logic of balance. So it's a primary piece balance. It is not only getting instructed from death and forgiving ultimately and the typical theoretical decision how things are being as you will becoming. The features of understandable consideration and assurance of getting one is always forced to make decisions that are more or less funding decisions. The discrimination in everything to organize everything that prescriptions necessary. The market is exceeding for characters of possible instability. Facts AI is that don't grab themselves and acknowledge and never really consider balance or gender fail in order to deal with this balance. Must acknowledge that every number of projects is pressure to the risk of failure. Obviously, that don't acknowledge your violence and try to eliminate all violence on this condition because they set up standards to goodness and make their projects possible. Being takes up this consequential action is bound to be everything failed to meet our own question is then is not what consequences what strategy we're about to deal with this with. There's just back confidence and structure reputations that follow from the way I thought to organize your violence. Next solution that is taken to overcome this considered violence failed to account for the idea that even good things about it and result in absolute violence happening too. And objections must sharpen an ideal and build on possibility of violence. I would nothing that ever have anything of fun with the violence and the possibility of absolute peace is the idea of the understandable future that is conditioned for anything happening. Given that all decisions are inherently must be professionally open to the risk of the knowledge that any ethical project has no violence to the other future is that the decisions we make are not we need. They constantly contest the decisions that we will make and how we only but the goal to take these features of market to become this need that we also have to recognize the responsible for decisions they are open to the violence we may not recognize when we take the decision hacking 3. So market to come is not this need so we know political risk move on to democracy we not be questioned market come the possibility for justification of the object for our to remain open critique we monitor engagement in our democratic position of faith as we should pass features so that we return the rules of market in terms of the other changes spacing over the chance of critique of which any critique needs to be scrutinized as ever possible provisions described in 3 impacts 8 saying they're more democratic on the turn case. I don't defend the governmental theory of democracy I just embrace the thoughts and structures understanding coming to the future of need for constant criticism and reflection. Democracy contains other rules of because the embrace the validity of the viewpoint will also ability for others to argue for those only by adopting half of the knowledge and we understand how to compare between adopted viewpoints and knowledge and there's for an understanding after this is impossible to find any because we can't substitute their justification sustainable but striving towards the margin and come by knowledge and completeness of any political project or other needs education possible to say otherwise we deny the point of education on scale education definition and indeterminate process work on terminally unfinished persons or burn. Education is meant for displacing research and providing a sort of the community is committed to self aiming to measure the economy and your pedagogy might be conservative possibility for newcomers with a younger graduation of the world without being allowed to think that qualities and how it must be as an educator complex and responsibility can reduce to the encouragement that education to teach for producing the possibility of education detention. First, discussion rules such as the limit of free speech prevents individuals from voicing their own opinions of the fridge. One criticizes democracy, one doesn't need democracy, free speech their own continuous openness to challenge open, and then the future of more room for the passion of democracy. But again, able to face it and skip more points. Discussion rules for decision aid, the impacts aid affirms that any speech restriction and kind of the same democracy come across everything is open constitution, but speech restriction prevents that. Being discussion rules for the essay events being generally applicable to broad rules, but fail to recognize a particular situation there too. The just decision is on the rule whether I can from this by reason to the interpretation or just logic can be just done unless there's a fresh judgment. The check is conform to because we bring the interpretation requires that adjusting not just consistent from the decision different requires the interpretation can always guarantee the level of the decision just see. Try not to take several non-several forces which is self-occupied, creating the decision between absolutely good and absolutely bad speech. Creating something that's absolutely good, which was recognized by the decision second. Visions depend on context, specific iterations only way that stating can have a framework forces in a specific context. Can also be the character plays and promises to act relative to the person they portray and causes. A second person voice of this context, and any time can be grabbed onto a context to generate video, singular meanings, it means that every time the context dependent context manipulates some myself, both have kinds of loose and stuff that I've been here and there, just repeat that it is instantly the different things. So the promise of the stage comes to the actors, comes to the character, and the impacts a specific personality for me. It does not make them all visible, it's just how they should knowledge of the beats, exactly speech determination, more constantly the specifics of each situation, which general restriction cannot account for in third. The restriction for speech is contingent on the distinction between good and bad speech, only the state has so much authority to determine whether. It is not to give order to the courts decided it is decision to see which produce the activate which produces the evil, or it's not to see for the speech to state by the which decided against which we're going to be contributing for the discourse of sexuality and the of combating race mistakes in the hate speech, or something like these minority groups which advocate American vernacular, which are social injuries, they're finding responsible to take the public picture of an obscene, that sexuality can be career of safety, to impacts A. After turning some speeches, hate speech is part of the process of I say that they can create over the categories by dignity, this is an aesthetical to democracy to common because the process of conscious of create boundaries and denying to the person the possibility of being able to challenge against the state B. So on authorities allow for perpetual exclusion in the state. Canon has a specific consider minority voices opinions sparing though. That's based which out of you. First, imagination field actions or pressure groups to suffer and contradicts the ideal idea of the world, returning pressure groups into obstacles to this ultimate end that ought to be purged later. Thus, imagination lessons of appeal to the common destiny of evolution, stability, putting diversity in efficient order, consistent making the world, disorder, exposed material. Harness the organ of complexion, restriction the water, albeit the body, the idea of a single water vision, then meter water was one of our utilized other two. Very to recognize the potential radical political alternative, the rights coalition, global persuasive positions, all running most of the changes all move. Agnes is public space, based in this weird constantly where you told them there was no nothing right, there was consensus party movement, there was a center of they got off fundamentally different differences, there's no alternative to the interest situation until like crazy to the rise of right wing populism that they are the only parties who say there is no alternative people. Bring back the voice of the South taking, but right wing populist parties are the only ones who represent the alternative view, but also the ones who try to mobilize passions. And 3. Presume at 1 in 732 times you be after articles face the bottom nickel next to C and C because and then you get to tell her the strategy the author speaks first hand. This means that all things from the negative claiming abuse have to be weighted against a structural disadvantage. Otherwise you could just otherwise it's not good for the author to consume it's leveling the playing field.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
What are the A subpoint and B subpoint under the map?
Sure. A point is 732 times Q. B point is I have to extend arc's price while you only have to once. So that further contributes to times Q.
Okay. Let's see. I want to read a util and see. What are your app preempts util?
I think every framework preempts another framework if like obviously I can interact with my framework.
How do I turn the app?
How do you turn the app?
Yes.
You prove how speech restrictions are consistent with democracy to come.
Consistent with democracy to come. What is democracy to come?
Democracy to come is more of a decision-making process where we don't take any final judgments and we always prepare for the future because the future is like undecided, it's unpredictable. We can never know what happens. We always have to be able to like make changes or
okay, so why does speech
contest
codes
things.
not make it why can we change speech codes in the future?
What do you mean?
So as long as we're consistent with changing things in the future, does that mean that we meet your app?
No. So the argument is things have to be open to contestation. Speech restrictions prohibit that because they specifically the idea of a speech code is saying that.
Okay, so if I make it so that things are like still open to contestation, does that mean that I like link under the whole ballot?
I'm not sure what that means, but I guess.
Okay.
You have to do like more articulation.
Let's see. Your Nayer card, can you give me like the justification behind this? It seems like you highlighted it down to say nonsense.
No, it's the claim and warrants are pretty clear. Basically what it's saying is
read me a line that says that field is bad.
World order to mobilize imagination lies in its appeal to common destiny. Evolution
I don't need you to read the entire card, I just want a line. None of those prove anything.
Well, all the lines together prove it, right?
I disagree with that. You can't point to a specific line. It really doesn't say anything. Okay.
Construction of the world, albeit a violent drama on it. The idea of a single
construction
world.
of the world. Why doesn't the app construct a new world? You say we want to like look to the future, so why don't you do that?
No, it's the process of fiat. Like when we imagine a
Process of
better
fiat. This
world.
Nayer.
The app is not imagining a better world. It like rejects like.
Okay, the app is saying that we want to look for democracy to come. This card is like when we try and imagine a new sort of humanity. That is bad. Why does the app link?
Wait, no, you misunderstand the app. The app is just saying we have to be able to like contest things because we might
Wait,
be
so
able
that's a
to.
completely different claim than what you said earlier. It seems like you're
No,
wishy-washy.
that's exactly what I said.
What's your advocacy?
My advocacy is we look to democracy to come.
No, I want your like advocacy.
Oh,
to
for the offense, I just defend the resolution as a general principle.
As a general principle, do you defend implementation?
No.
Okay, so you don't implement the resolution?
No.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go on to the Butler card. You say only the state can take an action. If I prove the state can only function under certain framework,
That's not what the argument says.
your tag would
Only the state can take an action. Like, what does that mean?
Okay.
Obviously, like, we have to take an action.
Is flight being started?
Yeah.
Okay. 5 minutes, go. Okay, your Butler card. Right above the underview, it says, third, restriction on speech is contingent on creating a distinction between good and bad that only the state has a sovereign authority to determine.
Yeah.
So doesn't that imply that the state has to take action inside the resolution?
It implies that when the state creates restrictions, it is directly like excluding certain types of individuals and setting like a static conception by.
If I prove the state has to take a certain action using like a certain methodology, then doesn't that imply?
No, it just says the purpose of a speech restriction is specifically for the state to like exclude certain people. It doesn't like depend. It's not saying, oh, if you
Okay, it's fine, don't worry.
implement a speech code, that will happen. It's saying like the intent of a speech code is that.
Okay, 255. 2 off, or 3 off case. Ready?
Wait, is it sent?
Yes. Ready?
Yep.
A is the interpretation of the affirmative must instrumentally defend the topic as requires defending public colleges and universities. Don't restrict any constitutionally protected speech to clarify. They must defend action resolved before a goal reflects the legislative forum or the officer's goal for. The goal introduces a form of resolution or result that this competition may or the resolution demands advocacy of a federal policy or some 3. Each topic means scale of one nation in the United States to prevent just action should adopt means to put an policy and action to government means the entire base violation law to occur. In case of violation, they don't mean I ask me cross succeed not only defend it as a general principle, you can defend any form of implementation and solve provisions about the assaults are open. They can still have discussions if they want to about democracy to come, but they have to defend implementation. They have to defend implementation. They can also talk about why democracy in general is necessary. They can have whatever discussion they want as long as they defend the topic which requires defending government action. These fairness 1, debate is game 4, and those who got competition other reflects like active education without education another form to only win competitive debate that debate determine fairness means fairness most important impact we can defeat the subject with their affirmative campaign and their free following from their research advantage they are choosing over regular debate or following their movement not very heavily preparing for it to switch I don't know the frameworks all teams to the same arguments of having even massive competitive to me preparing people over is not competing against them for each other get them one of self because you like I do like the solution performance theory and rules of research change jobs starting for things in the entire section 11 times and very extremely high the substance often deliberation alone to be necessary all of native preparation for this discussion to make sense of creative grammar and explicit impacts of data to increase education links yourself by non-argumentative activities class it's critical to teach us to craft advocacy to rigorously defend it against well research comments policy 15 only if reason is that those contrary arguments who test and parents when many people deliver caskets abuse more against extreme biases kind of by the send how arguments against testing and position we might not know what we believe and believe all arguments against our beliefs that our overseas much more around to time all and when we agree our implementation test competition engagement inferential and there are no single oriented shifts these are instrumental rationale so they all about topic and like aspiration with me all these non-argument procedure but not all propositions that may produce students and assertion that happiness also prepare to face about when losing keep the averages and engage even people rapidly losing these conditions are commenting engage in the same theories and the last experiments without being the idea each operator to the ground size from beginning to their expertise in my ability generates often flooding with evidence and solving his views and also this is a question of norm setting which means that even if he is advocacy doesn't necessarily do all these things then it's a question of not defending the state and justifying them beyond typical advocacy they're infinite amount of non-typical advocacy and theories in the stream of the interpretation because reason believe my arbitrary doctrine of reason profits about their argumentation and here's the reason about them in which we spoke to judge tolerance for argumentation and now let's see discounting the impact just because they don't link to a standard is exclusionary or prefer an inclusive standard because openness to different sources of value in society resist oppression for your class. Thousands of lineage, monarchs, destruction, monarchy, sites, which thousands of waiting, sending back, bringing other things, officers, representatives, our idol, and rank, and impossible, and about social range, powers of resurrection, backfires, and domination becoming original fiction, and attempting to abstract away from social reality to repugnant and eliminates the possibility of a concrete solution to a crashing current 14. Despite the possibilities of real consequences, such logic, real elements of conquest, and any theory without a promise of novelty, and conceptual problems, actual problems, and outcomes of problems, theoretically, the capitalism in discussion about the elimination of percussion, so we can't see social problems, constant vision, and the effects of spiritual level. Thus, the standard is resisting question for the prefer because safety struggles have urgent interest in policy, the focus on concrete consensus and from it. Political policy is factor into action in the sense of the concrete translation or policy which better targeting to failure among the more ones of the rules by which a culture regulated now decide. State funding about the colleges and on-down strategy, you don't make up for the law charters 1028. State funding has been increased to produce around 10%. State funding to 55% 1980 and 10% to factor salary to government of 2000 survival from most colleges realized under support by 11. State funding from the low colleges having better from the strike by the legislature, five judges, public colleges are low spending and excluding government institutions like that legislature, colleges, student public graduation double. They turn private and figured in administration that need the locally regulated speech to keep daughters happy present student nation 16. Compensation rates 11 to like something complete throughout the donors and take the controversial season the pressure explain my government to the signs which is all the funding side admin come over but the line of the strategies government sell the time sharp admin just an act of problems the green conditions on which government can play admin decision on responding endowments and funding are key to use competitiveness turns case link 14. 10 the niche increasing development and demonstrating increase in quality education because it most directly and hard to back competitors as student scholarships and graduate scholarships are working to the that's all scholarships supposed on academics and down money greatly enrich the institution youth competitors and leadership and council this is also reason why I turn cases because it's in our things about how we have to have a good democracy to come we don't end up having good leaders in the future and don't have competitors and teach students how to look at diverse ideas and it's impossible to have a good democracy to come in lots of abuse competitiveness effects on all around the world causes widespread poverty for Americans well such things can be availability maintaining students competitive space here some organizations competitive on activity to hire more activity training employment attract foreign investment and sustainable community service from which we benefit kind of American competitive scale well economical leadership is large the child focused national community sustainability uses influence down case. First off, in democracy becomes reason about it's a critique of nationalism and culture in new international, which is a communist program. In no way does it support giving U.S. citizens free speech rights. Start this because they totally misinterpreted Dara's argument. Because of what? Because democracy states are opportunities to look for freedom or democratic women and saying no to world democracy down to the university of states no maintain ground country or even on the decisions of the citizens of a nation to independent constitution and see the international policy allows the down to the institute law and invalidly settlement of research and democracy become take guide policy actions kind of themselves the case that as well or not counterclaim the status quo. Problem with science, democracy comes out again on the number of projects in the institution, lots of capacity, but be president and helpful for development of the future, give no involving self in this route. Church democracy, I'm going to be about modern ideals and more than hoping for something different, which is repugnant. That's a per 14 card. And democracy becomes internally contradictory, side 16. Democracy becomes relevant to equal, disposal of political structures, happening politics, always does not their only options out there. Make sense of little means or marketing, make no sense of it in ethical and natural case. First, all those arguments are how we have to be open to contestation. We are open to contestation. Our point is that you can't even get into the university in the first place, and you can't become educated or have good democracy become if you don't have funding. People aren't going to be able to come into it and have diversity in the first place. That's all. That's what Joan just said. Now let's go on to their butler card. This butler card actually flows in because it produced something from the wrong higher card. It says we in the resolution, public colleges and universities act under the state, and the state is only one that can implement speech codes, which means that if we put a specific obligation for the state, which is what the resolution mandates, and that means that the framing must be the one that we pay. Utilitarianism on the wrong hammer card that say so the state can only act under utilitarianism and under this framing that we gave, which means that your framing is fully incoherent for the round that you set out. The public colleges and universities are part of the state. Now we're also under the narrow card. They say that Fiat Switzerland Press no one narrow card doesn't give any warrants for this. It literally underhighlighted so much that you should read the card yourself too. Is that your arguments are about how we are trying to when we try to imagine a different world. That is a bad idea. You learn just as much as I do because you imagine a different world. It says world order modalized imagination lies in its appeal to common destiny. That top word actually flows in because it proves that you try and imagine a different world. Whether we say that in fact there's something happening in the world right now, will cause something bad to happen. Fiat is not Fiat is an illusory. And also he's going to try and look at it that'll just supercharge his own T and it means that like he'll lose everything.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
What's the word in Steingo?
Okay, so there are a couple of things. Steingo says that the kind of politics that you advocate for, or democracy to come, says it's one part of the element of democracy to come is it says it's open to subjectivity so people can define themselves. But that's inconsistent with the idea of a fixed government. because a fixed government structure means that like you can't have people defining themselves. So you're advocating both for democracy to come, whereas like where people can have subjectivity, and you're advocating for government structure, which are mutually exclusive. So your theory is like inconsistent and incoherent.
Okay. What does Bennett say?
Okay, Bennett.
Is this just like a seeds of political argument?
Sorry.
Is this just like a seeds of political argument?
There are a couple arguments in Bennett. First, it says that like democracy to come doesn't guide any sort of policy decisions because it doesn't lead to any sort of motivation that would be able to guide policy solutions, nor does it provide a productive worldview to allow us to guide any sort
Peters
of policy.
doesn't talk about democracy to come. Peters just says democracy in general.
No, let's talk about democracy to come. If you read the article, it's definitely about democracy to come.
Well, not how it's cut. It just says democracy.
Okay, it says at the very bottom, the democracy to
Cultural
come
will
obliges
democracy.
one to challenge instituted law and indefinitely unsatisfied justice. Peters is abbreviating it at the top, and if you look at the bottom, it's definitely in context.
How is that not compatible?
Okay, so there are a couple of things. So you read evidence that doesn't. So they read evidence that supports giving rights to people in the U.S. But democracy to come says we have to have an international democracy, and this idea of rights is inconsistent. Or rights for only one nation is inconsistent with an international democracy. You fundamentally misunderstand your own theory. You're just advocating for the wrong thing because it's a critique of nationalism, which is like you're like, oh, let's only give rights to people in the U.S. But if you're critiquing nationalism and like only giving rights to the U.S., then how is that consistent? You're just advocating for the wrong side.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about what's the one in Hoy.
Okay, so the Hoy card says that when we only look at sort of like one theory, that excludes our ability to look at other theories because it's not like the world is like very like straightforward. It's not like the world is made up of one theory. There are multiple things that make up the world, and ethics is complicated. So in order to be able to account for all those different possibilities of like bad things that could happen or good things to come, we need to be able to have pluralism, which is the idea that we look to like multiple theories. So this means that your theory isn't exclusively correct. And if you try to claim it's correct, then you end up ignoring injustices, and like that only recreates oppression within inside the world. So any sort of NC or AC response in the are about like how we should only evaluate your theories off.
Alright, so pluralism is like the best stance against oppression.
Sorry?
So in terms of framework, pluralism is like the best stance against oppression.
I think like we'd say pluralism is a good thing, but our standard isn't pluralism.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Sorry, prep.
Alright. Something like that.
30 seconds, sorry.
39.
Okay. What's the order?
Sure. The order is going to be A, C, T, and C.
And C as in the disab or?
Yeah, like the framework and the offense, which is the decide.
I didn't get it again.
Wait, I should write down 39.
Are you reading one or not?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, 1AR, TOC, round 3. I have to reply to all. Where's the email? Just. Okay. It's sent.
I should use my phone in more debates. I kind of like this.
Actually, some of this stuff I know I'm not going to read. Like, I know I'm not going to read all of it. Dude, is it okay if I just delete real quick and send another copy?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Alright, resending it. Send.
AC, framework, NC.
Well, it's AC. Yeah, AC framework and C.
Okay, cool.
We're good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good?
The thesis of the opposite, the world will always be full of violence and disagreement. Our focus shouldn't be on trying to solve it. Ethical theories and policy options that just recreates violence. Rather, coping with it that time and what into the future isn't predictable. So we have to be able to make new changes and decisions. Therefore, we embrace the march of the competence decision-making process of other ideas and ensures we never set any final judgments. Are always open to change and to prepare for any sort of future. That's time 3. You affirm because restriction of final judgments future prevent us from contestation and feel to acknowledge the fluidity of language and norms and allow the state to create static identity. Now, I have the one, extend have the one. Any decision requires consideration of valid. We create categories of language that are inherently exclusionary. It takes out your framework. framework was valid succession of security software, the launches and fruitless mindset where we create problems that we criticize. Also takes out the theory shell theory, doesn't acknowledge its ability for failure and violence because it's the best thing to do. It takes out all post beyond impact. All actions inherently violent. The premise of carrying by consequences is incoherent. It also is incoherent due to the temporal theory. We can never be sure of consequences of our actions. So even action might have bad consequences, we are required to act. It leads to serial policy failure, which also is the reason why we can, which is also the reason why there's no atomic habits and habits. The solution to violence do not exist. That specifically takes out your comparative rules framing with your type of framework also takes out theory to setting the best norm for debate is premised on assumption that there's a best world of debate that we can strive towards. Now, I think having theory, that is the rule about we have to look to democracy to become mixed over education theory an indeterminate process working on unfinished persons. This is working on you can completely concede this rule about the specific key to education. Education only makes sense in terms of accepting an unfinished kind of fluid identity because we're accepting that because you create a static conception of identity. That is an independent reason to drop you. Now to the framework, extend for yourself. Do not free speech prevents people from wasting their ideas. And extend zero to destruction norms feel broad norms such as a restriction of people following every answer incoherent because each situation is different, so their application we cannot fit for. It also takes out theory to setting theory norms or specific norms that cannot account for each different situation. And extend butler, which is hugely damning because it's a direct turn to the NC that you can see. The restriction of free speech is rule out no distinction between good and bad speeches. Only the state has a sovereign authority to determine speeches and engage speech until the court says it is. Which means it can harm minorities. Also create static conception of identity, which means you automatically affirm underneath my rule about static conception of identity. Now to your argument on Peter's obviously I defend my democracy to come. Hagen specifically clarifies that Hagen is probably the most influential Derridian. Even if I do misrepresent Derrida, then I'm just representing Hagen. So this argument has no impact. Also, you say you can't guide political action, but you can see the move, which is a direct argument against the political. So you can cross-apply that on. You understand though I am against a fixed structure, specifically the T version. My framework says the state is bad. On there, you say, I think, but no, I don't. I reject all consequences of I just say the sentence of the resolution is a good principle. Obviously, it doesn't make sense for me to say violence inevitable, imagination, new world, and obviously, it doesn't make sense for me to say violence inevitable, then imagine a new world order for fiat. So it's extending that you imagine a new world of fiat, which is inherently bad because that is literally what the NC is doing with this consequence of this framing. Now, on T. Can our interpretation that F does not defend the limitation of resolution, but F has been disclosed for months. We have defended the resolution in general principle. T, I would have been willing to that you read articles of vegetation as long as you do it kind of framework that makes it relevant as you did. Collins, result because the purpose of intention in terms also all abuse disclosure means you should have kept it out. I still defend the resolution, so obviously you can engage us also over your engagement arguments, and you can have a policy impacts and features whatever you took from commitment as one critical end to two to one and say instead of engaging arguments and implementations. You would just drown the importance of the method and you to turn to T version. And then your evidence is fiat is bad. Obviously, there is no T version because after the inherently rejects it. Also, for that, the non-T version of half means your interpretation of my framework, which is uniquely key as long as I'm winning with a framework is true and fill it out with everything because it's consistent purpose and activity and afflex cross-apply the third spike I made in the underview. Now in NC. What justifies affirming this? It says multiple voices are key to stopping oppression, which is i.e. free speech. So you can affirm right there. Also, Korea, there's literally no warning either wrong or Korea. They just assume abstraction, but symbolic violence is but we have to get rid of symbolic violence first because the exclusion inevitably means that tangible violence will happen. So the one I see is the correct starting point to maybe ourselves against all types of violence, and also the contention to my other card specifically takes out this side, and consequences are obviously going to turn them.
Wait, you read a bunch of stuff that wasn't in the doc. Can I have those?
Yeah, they're just extensions.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I use these as a general guideline, so I don't know what exactly I didn't read or what I did read. Like I see like, it takes out comparative worlds and I just extend from there. But do you still want me to send them?
Yeah.
I did for sure read this overview.
Yeah, okay, send me the overview then. And also, what did you not read in the doc?
I did not read the reasonability stuff.
Okay. Didn't read.
I'll just send a new document.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
And I didn't read the attorney. Okay, so.
Okay. I'll start talking to it. Okay. You read 1, 2, and 3. I thought you just did 1.
On what?
On counterintuitive.
No, I made it. Wait, I have to find it. I did make the afflex argument, and I did make the fill-out argument.
Got it.
Order.
Order's gonna go AC decides framework. On framework, there's gonna be a big overview that is on separate piece of paper.
Oh, is anything new?
Yeah, I sent it.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, everybody?
1 second.
Wait, this starts with framework, so.
I'm just making analytics on this side of AC.
Okay.
Okay, everybody? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. We're not going to go for the NC, but we'll go on the AC. First, you say that you end up creating violence, and theory doesn't acknowledge that violence. No, that's not a question of theory. Your authors say that all you have to do is just defend it within government implementation. The only reason why there's no topical version of that is because theory policy failure. We'll address that later, but there's no reason why theory is inherently violent. So far as we can win at TVA. Also, theory isn't being inherently violent. It's not inherently violent. It's just an argument and position that we're reading it around. We're telling you that this is the way that we're just saying that this is an argument we're reading. It's not like we're actually doing anything to oppress you or silence you in the round. Argumentation isn't inherently violent. That we can saying that any position I read would be inherently violent. For example, if I read a disside, you would be like, oh my god, that offends me so much. No, we're just reading another position now. We're going for the Peters card. You say that you're defending the version of Highland. No, you misread all of your you misread your entire democracy to come arguments. Even Highland acknowledges this. That the fact is that it's about subjectivity, and democracy to come is internally contradictory as a theory because of the fact that they read evidence that doesn't support giving rights to people in the U.S. It calls for international democracy. That is what democracy to come means. You support nationalism by only acknowledging you people in the U.S. You say that you are an example of democracy to come. No, the point is that your entire theory is premised on having international democracy. That's the definition of democracy to come. You can look this up after the round. You can look at our cards. You fundamentally misunderstand your own premise. That would also mean that your evidence is miscut, perhaps because the nationalism argument, because the arguments that you're making are based off of nationalism. Not only people in the U.S. deserve free speech. Now, we're not going to the other card, but first on your argument about TPA, serial policy failure doesn't actually matter. You can still have a good discussion whether or not serial policy failures are relevant. We can still have a discussion based around the topic. That doesn't justify why topical version of is necessarily bad. It just says that there is a version of topical version of that would perhaps have some flaws, but you can also work around this by just having a discussion of the state. That's a good thing. Now let's go on to the Nayer card. Don't let me go for fiat bad. All of these arguments are based off of all of his arguments weren't implicated as a voting issue in the 1AR. Anything that wasn't implicated as a voting issue in the 1AR cannot be a voting issue in the 2AR. That would be a new argument. You can't vote on it. So don't let me go for any of that stuff on the dissat or on the case. Literally nothing was a voting issue. Now let's go on the counter or T framework. 1. Debate is a game. Overview. 1. Debate is a game. A descriptively it is. There's a winner and loser for the drugs. Proves it's competitive. Speech and prep times are rules based off equity. Constitute with the activity. Determined in reference it's a competition with rules like when to be at rounds. They signed up to game. B. Prescriptively it should be. Under their model, everyone pursues their own forms of activism. The balance evolves into oppression and limits to determine which activism is more beneficial based on hierarchies of oppression. C. In other forms you can be an activist. Tournaments are the only place to win competitive debates. If the debate were about activism, it wouldn't be oppositional. They chose to compete and want the balance. Since debates game, we need rules based around what's most fair. D. Descriptive, always prescriptive on predictability. We know what debate is, but visions of what it could be are unlimited. Turns case, there's no activism when we're unable to debate. Start this on your flow. Debate is a game, is the reason why you lose this round. You spent too much time reading offense, reading a bunch of like defensive arguments, but you didn't address any of our points. This means that we win the round independently if we prove one thing that you do is unfair, because it means that debate itself is constitutive activities fairness, and in this specific forum, things like oppression or things like not acknowledging subjectivity don't matter nearly as much as fairness. Now, second, fairness offense. Westlake 3 reasons why they're unfair. A, ground. What's happening here? If they want them to debate to give them an unfair advantage, they will say slavery is bad, and what can we say? Even if the racism for the act, they have too much flexibility when they pick the topic and their side. We switch sides. That's what we can talk. They can go 4 years on stuff like black or queer ontology, not debate anything else, even dating. That isn't a fair research burden. I can't grab all the different cases, especially while switching topics inside kills fairness. We switch topics to big schools can't win every round versus small school. It doesn't have too much practicality, predictability. We can never predict their actions. We think they're prep impossible. They can read still lose. We'll just clear past the entire ontology. Switch sides to charges. We can't prep normal or prep good enough, so we always lose. Also, we put it as the question of norm setting. Even if you defend an advocacy in the question of the topic, we say that the fact that you cannot defend it, the fact that you don't defend implementation, that's a bad precedent for people who may not be in the direction of the topic to not defend the state. We say that you have to defend the state, and fair only resolution offers predictable, reasonable ground. A topic committee generates either vigorous research or allow equity. That risk gets distributed at the same time. You have equal ground and time to prep. Our only interpret is our interpret is the topic, so only our interpret is predictable. And skip the A, B, and C. Go into weighing. Fairness is independent voting. Regardless of all else in this forum, you lose. This overview is enough to vote nay. Winning debate is a game, and they hurt fairness means game over. Even still, predictability outweighs turns are offense. 1A, we can't prep it. If we can't prep it, just like advocacy, we've got to garner focus around how to become better activists. B, separate practical political student needs to be delivering processing people argue that's crucial having your ideas heard in the first place. That's crucial to democracy that you're talking about. Those debates aren't possible when one side takes the terms of debate and it can be prepped for this posture part argument. That means that all of your arguments as to why you're just acknowledge differences in it tries to create static identity or turn, because those debates that you're trying to talk about, trying to create a good democracy to come, don't end up happening in the first place, and we don't have that form of contestation. Now go on the counter term. When there's only eliminated and people take it for instance, almost means about cover then it is impossible to go different ways. This means only our interpret is predictable because it's only one grounded in the resolution. A, our students in the context of the debate specifically on how every resolution has an actor, and how representing case that specific after our taking action, and we debate about my even if resolved independently means to take it for instance. When we look at the resolution, the whole only our interpret justifies. Get the B sub point. Now let's go into our arguments. On your disclosure, no, you only disclosed a qualified immunity. You didn't actually have your advocacy disclosed on the wiki. You can check now on your B sub, now on your B sub point, now on your B sub point. No, this doesn't actually apply because you don't defend the resolution as a general principle doesn't hold for all offense. You still don't give us access to any sort of implementation. See, you said obviously sub point. No, this is something that happened ex post facto. You should have told us in round that you would have been willing to, and told us in CS that you would have been willing to give us links. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gone through the framework. This is a skewed our offense from the beginning. We would have read a better advocacy, but we didn't tell us that. And also the fact that you didn't defend implementation, so you would have just de-linked out of politics. That's a fact. And now it's going to you still defend it. No, you don't solve anywhere. We argue just points about now in critical education. No, you can critical education. We already turned your offense with the posture card. This gives that there's no education that comes down on your act flexibility. No, there's no act flexibility. You can't have that as flexibility. You can't choose the ground and the topic. You still get flexibility on your R topic. That's our entire ground point. That's why only R interpret is predictable and only R interpret is grounded in resolution. Even still, you lose because you're not fair.
39 minutes. Alright, what is AC theory? Ready?
Extend the end, the world is always so full of order and violence and disagreement. Our focus is trying to solve it. Ethical theories that just try to recreate the violence around the cope with within in the future. So things will have to be make these changes to make and decision. That is democracy, the common you affirm because restrictions are final judgments on speech that prevent us from contestation and failure of knowledge, fluidity of language, and they create static identity. That is also the public evidence. So I'm obviously going to be winning the framework here. You keep extending this argument that I misunderstand the democracy, the common. But obviously I do not. You can call up the cards if you have to. But the framework is pretty clear. I'm pretty sure I've been reading it for 5 months and I know exactly what they say. And the cards are miscoded. Also, even if it is a misrepresentation of Derrida, I'm still defending Highland, so there's no impact here. You say that it's an entirely contradictory, bro. But I am once again I'm against a fixed government structure. That is the same argument for why there is no non-T version of the app. So. Extend Butler, and because of the reason to affirm, extend Burn, education, the static identity dropper. Onto there. Extend there, the practice of envisioning, fielding, an alternative world is grounded in a vision absent current oppressive structures, but this idea resists our own subject to the council of the world fiat, therefore causes us to recreate oppressive structures existing in the status quo. So this is an piece of reason to drop you because you don't actually do anything. You say that don't let me go for this because it's because it wasn't impacted as a voting issue in the winning round, but she didn't link until the winning round. Now onto theory. Actually, I extended some theory takeouts from the framework. So just extend those real quick. I extend the theory takeout from Highland, but the theory doesn't acknowledge the voting for failure of violence because it assumes the best thing to do. Extend the theory takeout from Highland to that setting the best notion of debate is premise upon the assumption that there is a best mode of debate that we can strive towards. But obviously, this is obviously false as per the framework. And extend the Highland theory takeout. The norm setting assumes that we create a norm that is uncontested best. Instead of rule must be open adopted different viewpoints and be aware of its own contestation. The actually requires that we don't set static norms, rather be open to adopting different viewpoints. You make one argument that wasn't signposted saying that I cannot that tries to take out all these theory takeouts because you're trying to say that I don't do anything, but theory doesn't do anything either. Obviously, when it just says about not all like non-T apps don't just go away, so this argument goes away. But so now go on to the interpretation. She never extended her interpretation, but I sure as hell will extend the counter. The app doesn't have to fit implementation resolution. Anything that happens to discuss about to get from the resolution of general principle and C. I've been willing to let you agree to argue implementation as long as you give counter from me some relevant. Extend the cons. You say your definition away, but there's no warrant. You say that I didn't actually have it disclosed, but I did. I've had it disclosed since February. You say I don't give you any ground, but obviously I do. You can still read all the policy impacts. We get all the policy education. I defend the resolution as a general principle. You just have to read another framework. Evident as per this round, because you read another framework. I did not try to de-link out of it. Obviously, you still get access to all this, and you can see the philosophical education one that specifically there is no T version of the app, which means you exclude my framework. So you can group all of your arguments, limits, all that, and just switch side. Always assumes that I'm not being topical.